Good evening. It is Monday, August the 23rd, about 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. This is meteorologist Shay Gibson with WeatherFlow doing our annual Surfers Healing forecast. Last year I didn't get to come on do this because the event didn't happen, but this year, fortunately, it is happening this year. So lots of excitement in the air about it coming up on Wednesday. So this is a preliminary report tonight to talk about Wednesday. I'll do another one tomorrow night to give you a final report. Let's go ahead and dive in. Let me put myself down here in the corner, get out of the way. I'll go ahead and show off the Surfers Healing Folly Beach, and just check out the graphic this year. Man, this is beautiful. I love it. Nancy Hussey and all their crew, everybody that's helping along with this, including Izzy and all of the surf team. I mean, what a fantastic crew coming here on Wednesday. But I just love this graphic. This is beautiful. So hats off to the artist who designed that graphic for today. But if you want to come in here and post whatever you like throughout the event, pre-event, post-event, during the event, anything you want. This is a great group, great bunch of people here. Some beautiful, beautiful children, beautiful people all the way around. I love doing this forecast every year. So let's go ahead and dive it right into it. So looking at the visible satellite imagery with some composite radar for today, we're just seeing, you see that line inland just along the sea breeze front. And this is going to be typical for each day for the next few days. We're going to have high pressure out here in the Atlantic. It's going to be bringing us a southerly flow up the coastline. And then we're going to be getting a coastal trough more or less put into place here. So we have some unsettled weather in the environment, especially just offshore, as we see an old trough or an old front digging, just off the shore here, caught between high pressure over the mountains and then also high pressure out over the Atlantic. So I would just expect some offshore storms to develop each day, maybe some clear spots, but definitely that sea breeze line of storms developing each afternoon. Now, I am a little bit concerned about Wednesday morning, but I'll get there in just a minute. If we take a look at the surface map from the WPC and just kind of taking a quick graze as we get into Tuesday morning, we get into Tuesday afternoon, evening, and then we get into Wednesday morning. And what they're showing here is still some unsettled weather, some of that coastal troughing here along the South Carolina coast, and that's being driven in by this Atlantic high pressure. It looks like the Bermuda high is going to start drifting to the east towards the coast, and what that does is it sort of traps some moisture that comes up from the Gulf here, and it traps it up into between the Midlands and the Lowlands. And so we end up with a little bit of unsettled, or we could say inconsistent pattern, so to speak, with instability across this area as we get into Wednesday morning. So I would say there might be a little bit of concern for some showers and storms Wednesday morning, but maybe not. We may get lucky there and just see those storms holding off the coastline, or maybe just inland if there are any at all by this hour. So this is Wednesday morning. As we get into Wednesday afternoon, it looks like things back away or they fizzle out in the morning, and then there's a chance for afternoon storms to come again. So just be aware of that. This is typical summer pattern. We've seen this before. We've seen morning storms at Folly Beach. They come and then go, come back out in the water, and continue on with the event. So looking at data scope right now, looks like winds have backed down a little bit. We had some nocturnal jetting right around the time of sunset, and that's backing down now. But as we get into Wednesday morning, looks like overnight, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, we have at least one model that's getting very, very excited, going up into the 30s in miles per hour. But this could be an association with nocturnal jetting. It's just getting into wind science overnight, where we see winds coming out of the south-southwest or southwest and coming up just because of inland troughing features and some other things that are going on, and maybe even due to some storms in the area. But overnight, typically what we see is we see a westerly land breeze develop along the coast, which means things glass off in the morning. I'd be surprised to see any stronger southwesterly winds early in the morning when we wake up. And this could be a good thing if we have these westerly land breezes blowing offshore at about 6 to 10 knots, because that makes the winds a little bit more offshore, and also carries the waves to be a little bit more glassy. And so we do have a pretty good outlook for Wednesday morning as far as waves go. Quick look at the NAM 12 as far as winds. It looks like things are going to stay in place with that Atlantic high pressure I was talking about. You can see it spinning out there in the model as we go forward into time, and then breaking down after Wednesday. So we hold this pattern through Wednesday that we have right now. GFS model showing a little bit of rain moving into the coastline by Wednesday morning. It's going to be really scattered and uncertain exactly where some of this shower activity may occur. But we'll continue to watch, and I'll fine-tune that tomorrow. We have a better outlook on what the preset models are going to look like tomorrow night. Okay, here we go. So looking at sea surface temperatures, we don't have anything. Our water level table and all of the South Carolina water level tables, for that matter, are down right now. So we don't have anything that's really measuring water to an official degree. But we do have the Corn Buoy, which is just offshore. This is actually giving us about an 83.55 or 84 degree rounded up water temperature, so it's nice and comfortable out there as far as temperatures go. And then if we look at the forecast, I generally wait till the night before and look at some of the model runs. But if we look at Wednesday as a whole, Weather Channel calling for about 86 degrees with about a 56% chance of rain, and I can vouch for that. Probably the highest chance of rain being in the early morning hours, hopefully before 9 or 10, and then later in the afternoon when storms fire up inland along the sea breeze front. So maybe we'll get lucky and not have to deal with that rain along the initial coastline. Tide charts, we're looking at a waning gibbous moon right now, which is almost going to third quarter. And we look like about a 6-foot swing in the tidal surge, so things are on track. It looks like from our National Weather Service wave prediction, let me get back here. This thing has a mind of its own. It wants to travel when you leave it alone. Beginning into the 25th, looks like we get a surge overnight, especially with those stronger winds, as some of those models are showing you in association with storming offshore. Could generate a little bit of short period wind swell into the coastline by Wednesday morning. So we're looking at a nice little surge by Wednesday morning sunrise. Could be nice and glassy with those offshore winds. And also we're looking at probably stomach to chest high sets as far as that goes. Now we may get a little less than chest sets, and everything's a little bit up in the air right now, but it looks like things could die down right after high tide, which is around 11:15 a.m. Wednesday. And you can see here on the surf line forecast as we go out to Wednesday, early in the morning, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, is calling for 3 feet, 2 to 3 feet. So that means anywhere from waist to stomach high, and maybe an outside chest set. So we could be looking at some pretty good waves, some pretty good glassy, maybe even semi-glassy if the winds turn on shore mid to late morning as they switch from west and sort of swing around from the southwest and south-southwest. We get a little bit chopped by midday. Looks like we're going to have some pretty decent waves in the morning. They are going to kind of filter down on the turning tide in the afternoon. So we're looking at about maybe waist high, dropping to thigh, and maybe even knee high by late afternoon. So either way, I think we're in the market for some decent waves for our event at Surfers Healing. And that's going to do it for this forecast. I'll be back tomorrow night to give you a fresh forecast with new guidance, and we'll see you all there Wednesday if I don't see you on tomorrow night. Have a good one. Take care. Stay safe.